Good afternoon. My name is Gary Scott. I'm a BIM specialist and digital engineering specialist for Skanska, representing Building Smart today and the work we're doing. I just want to talk to you about the COBie Trials that Building Smart are looking after at the moment. The specific trial that I'm looking after is the product data capability. This cartoon sums up quite nicely for me where we sit with regarding metadata. And this year's trials have focused very much on data and also information regarding EIRs, and Nick Nesbitt is looking at EIRs, and we're also having Jeff Stevenson looking after BIM and COBie information across to FM systems as well. The product data trial was born out of a conversation around the usability of objects and the libraries. We're looking to test the library objects, we're looking to test manufacturing objects to see where this data resides, in what format, and how we're going to be pulling this information together. I'm a specialist who actually pulls information exchanges together, and this is really where I see the information on a daily basis. I have to wade through it very much so, looking for the pieces of information. We're very interested, as Skanska, as someone who has to pull this information together, where it actually sits in models, in objects, in PDTs, and bits and pieces like that. Structured data is very interesting to me. This is kind of where I have to work on a daily basis. I have to look for data in multiple locations. It really is quite confusing for me as an individual, and we are looking for a structured format that we can send out to our manufacturers, and also what we're asking our supply chain to provide, and our design supply chain. This is really what I'm looking for. I know where the information is, I know where to look for it, I know what sort of sections it's under, and really nice and simple for me, really. I need to tell you as manufacturers and as suppliers what information I'm looking for. And the reason for the trial is really to bring people out of the dark. There's a lot of information out there. A lot of people are asking me as a main contractor, what information do you need? Where do you need it? Where can I put it? Can you find it? And that's really what the trials are about. Very simple trial, a number of people pulling the information together and literally going from there. So I like this slide very much. This is very much where I see data going at the moment. It's running away from us. We have no idea where all the information is sitting. It's in multiple places, and I'm desperately trying to catch all the data and pull it together in a nice slide and a nice information exchange, really. Again, this is kind of what I see. I've caught all the data, and it's a ticking time bomb. Clients are after multiple bits of data from me. They don't often know where that information is going to ultimately sit in FM. So once I've compiled all this data, it really is just ticking away and waiting to explode in my face, really. So the part of the trials, we're really following this. We want to pull the information down, we want to use it, and we want to run with it as quickly as we can. The trials are made up of a number of main contractors and a designer as well. We've taken some information and we're really looking at where that information sits. So these are the participants. There's myself, who's looking at BIM objects, Julian Jameson's looking at BIM Store, Carla Hearn from McAlpines is looking at MBS, and we've got Martin Horn looking at the ACO. Essentially, we're using our own extraction tools in-house, whether that's plugins, whether that's software solutions, and we're literally seeing what information we can pull down. And from that, once we've pulled that information down, we're going to share that with the wider world and really do a gap analysis to where this information is missing. Ultimately, what we want to do is be able to feed back to the industry of the problems that we're having as people trying to pull this information together, so we can explain to people who are building content where we're looking for. The information we're pulling down, very simple. It's ceiling tiles, fan coil units, furniture items, lighting, pump sets, switch panels, doors and windows. These are simple everyday items that appear in most buildings in one way, shape or another. And because of the fact that we are all doing this out of the kindness of our hearts as such, we only have a limited amount of time to look at this information. So really, once we're pulling this information down, we'll be feeding back whether A, we can actually find this information on the store, whether it's sitting in the right places, and how we use the plugins and the software to actually pull this information together. Initial trials are looking promising. We're getting most of the information back, but not all of it as such, and that's really where we're pushing back to software suppliers. this really is to say, we're not looking to say this is the best store, this is what we're looking at, this is the right person to go with as such. It's not a race to the finish. We are merely viewing the data and just reporting back to the businesses and to the market about what we are looking for, and that's our feedback from this trial really. You'll start to see some information at the end of the month from us, and really we just want to give a guidance, whether that's PDTs, whether that's information sitting in models, and what structure that we will be looking for that to follow. Bit of a cliche as such, but it is something worth noting as such. I speak to many manufacturers and many designers who say, we just don't know really where to start. And I would say start somewhere, look at it, test it, look for this information, look where it's sitting, test it with multiple products and just test it on a few items first. The results will be at BIM Prospects 26th and 27th of March. I'll be presenting at REBA. Thank you very much.